The Harvest Moon Story of Seasons games have always been an enjoyable time sink to me, and I had reasonably fond memories of playing Harvest Moon A Wonderful Life, or, well, its special edition on the PlayStation 2 growing up. In saying that, I got to partially re-experience the joy when it got re-released for modern PlayStation consoles, but when I heard there was going to be a remake under the Story of Seasons name, I got pretty interested, as not only could I replay the classic with a modern coat of paint, but other people could also enjoy the game too. As to why it's a Story of Seasons game, long story short, Marvelous are the developers, Natsume, who own the Harvest Moon name, are the publishers. When the two companies went their separate ways, Natsume kept the Harvest Moon name and made their own games using it, while Marvelous adopted the Story of Seasons name. In Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, you play as a farmer whom you can name and adjust the look of, as well as assign pronouns. The start of the game opens with Takakura, your farmer's father's best friend, receiving a letter from your farmer in the city wanting to move to Forgotten Valley to take over their, I'm presuming their late father's farm. Takakura greets your character and shows you around the farm, and you meet a couple of dogs, one which you get to keep and name. You're also introduced and get a free cow whom you'd also get to name as well as your farm. You'll also meet some of the townsfolk in Forgotten Valley and the local nature sprites, the latter which only you can see. After introductions are out of the way, your life in Forgotten Valley begins. Like in other games in the Harvest Moon Story of Seasons games, you can grow a variety of crops, look after animals, and befriend the townsfolk, finding a partner along the way as you tackle a relaxed and slow life in Forgotten Valley. The game has been updated with new artwork by series artist Igusa Matsuyama, as well as allowing same-sex marriages and some name changes, as Natsume owned the copyright on the original localization, so some of the characters have had their names changed. But is the game any good? Find out in The Good. The game is kept quite faithful to the original in terms of presentation, story and gameplay. The game is separated into chapters, with each detailing key parts of your character's life, and with the exception of the first chapter in which your character needs to find a partner to get married to, simply reaching the end of the in-game year is the only requirement to progress to the next chapter. Unlike other games in the series, A Wonderful Life does away with the traditional 30 days to a season, opting to condense it all to 10 days a season, given how much time there needs to be covered in the game. The passing of time also affects the valley as well, and as the years go on, you can also visibly start seeing changes in people as they get older. It even has an effect on you as you reach old age. Your maximum stamina will drop, so you'll need to keep an eye on it in the later portions of the game. This game also introduced the concept of crop fusion, though unlike the Natsume Harvest Moon game where it's mostly crossbreeding of crops based on where they're planted and elevation, in this game it's through a talking plant. By befriending Vinny, the talking plant, you can fuse two of your crops or seeds to potentially make hybrid crops and rare crops which will sell for more, but have stricter requirements for growing. You can also fuse seeds with certain flowers to make unique blue crops, remove the soil requirements, or the seasonal requirements, or even to automatically bump the grade of the seed to S, meaning you can sell the crop for more. There's also a seed maker you can feed crops to in order to get more seeds, which can be purchased or obtained for free if you befriend the scientist, and a fertilizer machine to make fertilizer to raise your crop grade instead of buying fertilizer. Sorry, you've got to buy that one. Milk can be turned into cheese or butter through a processing shed, and there's a lot of recipes you can pick up and learn to cook, so you can gift them to the townspeople or maintain your stamina and fullness. The game also has some nods to other games in the series, and I won't spoil them all, but in order to pass the time in the game, you can leave the valley to visit other towns for about 6 hours of the in-game day. In the original Gamecube release, you could connect to Game Boy Advance with friends in Mineral Town and get records and new recipes between the two games. The Story of Seasons version does reference or imply Mineral Town, with one of the lines being that you met a great farmer. The records that you can get in the game changes the in-game music, and there are tunes from other games available, such as some from Harvest Moon 64 and Harvest Moon DS. The latter also takes place in Forgotten Valley, and features characters from A Wonderful Life as its inhabitants. Pui, one of the characters in the game, is accompanied by two butterflies which are named Pete and Claire in this re-release. These are the default names of the traditional Harvest Moon protagonists. There's a lot more, but I enjoyed the attention to detail and references to past games for long-time fans. I really appreciate the quality of life improvements made to this game to make it more accessible to all audiences, as some of the original features of A Wonderful Life might have made it off-putting to newcomers. Examples include having cows always produce milk unless they're about to give birth, instead of stopping after 40 days in the original, in which they would need to give birth to continue milk production. The shipping box can now be used for crops and animal produce from the get-go, instead of just animal produce to begin with the ability to ship crops unlocked later. Treasure hunting at the dig site is easier, as you can now see when you're about to dig up something, and there's even a path from the dig site to the forest for easier access from one part of the valley to another. Certain crops and produce sell for a lot more than the original, which makes earning money and buying things for your farm easier as time goes on. These are just a few things that have been made more accessible, and I think this makes the game more fun. I like the cast of characters, and that's always been a strong point with these games to me. Each character has their own quirks and a little schedule that they follow, and befriending them and talking to them can bring you some benefits, such as records of music to listen to, or more importantly, the blessed tools, which are the best tools in the game. Making friends with the people in the valley is pretty easy, and you can just give multiple gifts to characters, or in Vinny's case, just talk with it over and over again and you'll be fast friends in no time, so you can exploit its abilities to fuse crops and fruit. There are random events that you can stumble on where characters interact with one another, and it gives you a little more insight into them. You can even play games with some of the characters and get items from them too. You can even set up a stall in the centre of town that people can visit and buy stuff from you. It's a great way to get a little bit of money in between Van the Trader's visits on the 3rd and 8th of each season. The game does have its share of issues though, so let's explore those in the bad. While I do like the cast of characters, I also feel that they're quite limited. As the years go on in the game, there's a character who leaves and some that move in, and all of this happens prior to Chapter 2. From there, nobody else joins or leaves the valley except to visit the city or work. There are rival events that you can encounter in the first year between some of your love interests, but they never commit to anything, which I feel is wasted potential. I think the love interests and their rivals getting together and having families like you would have added a lot more life to the valley, as well as events as they all interact with one another. While there are visible signs of aging with some characters, others, and I'm talking about the elderly folk, seem to retain the same appearance across all of the chapters, which seems off given a certain event after Chapter 1. The valley just feels stuck in time, and while I suppose there is some peace to it, it's just going to die off at this point. I also wish the game had more in the way of events. Yes, the seasons are shorter at 10 days, but traditional events like a contest to see who has the best crops, makes the best dishes, or has the best animal, which I guess is pretty pointless since you're the only farmer who has animals in this game, so probably scratch that one, would make the days seem a little less monotonous. Each season does have only one event to keep things interesting, but personally more variety of events would have been nice. Maybe have a crop or food contest alternate during the seasons, or maybe a fishing contest in summer may have been nice to add in. It would certainly liven up the place a bit. Other than that, there's nothing else for me to complain about, so let's wrap things up with the opinion. I enjoyed playing through A Wonderful Life. It's brought some fond memories of playing the original while making some of the features I might find frustrating today easier and more accessible. The game played safe and is pretty faithful to its original incarnation, though I would say it's faithful to a fault. I just wish the rival events resulted in more families in the valley as well as some more festivals to add variety. But there's a really calming sense of just living a peaceful life and getting excited over your turnips growing the next day. If you like chill relaxing games or are a big fan of the Harvest Moon Story of Seasons series, or even just enjoy games like Stardew Valley, then this game is one that might tickle your fancy. So with that, it's time for my rating. I would give Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life a blue turnip out of 10. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next Infinite Backlog review. If you enjoyed today's review, feel free to check out some of our other videos and subscribe for more. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram and our Facebook page. Once again, thank you for watching.